2025 meeting of the Town of Concord Historical Commission. We are conducting this meeting online in accordance with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts Executive Order, suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law. The public may access this call through both telephone and video conferencing. Do a quick roll call. Doug Ellis, present.
Melissa Saulfield, present.
Nancy Nelson, present.
Okay. That is the members we have present. So we can jump right into the top of our agenda, which is talking with some of our new prospective members. So, and just side note for Alan, we've been getting busy doing some recruiting. So I could not be happier with the people who we've got joined, and we've got one more not present. And Sarah Cusin, who is, if you know Sarah, which you probably do, she is fantastic. So
that's why I tuned in tonight.
Okay.
I wondered why you were here.
So, hey, Alan,
I miss you. I miss you.
Yeah,
Alan,
we miss you too.
there are a couple people from Concord Green that would like you to return a call. Did you get that?
Okay.
We have some issues with the planning board. That is,
Yeah.
Take it outside.
Yeah.
different topic. So what I thought we could do is start off with the new prospective members can introduce themselves. We could just ask some questions if we've got any questions. Then we can take a poll on our recommendations. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the process is we recommend new members for the commission to the town manager, and then the town manager recommends them to the select board. So, blah.
yeah.
But welcome to town government. But and they'll have to compete with the line of people who are competing for this position. We are so happy that you guys are here. So when we start with Mary Beth.
I will unmute. Good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Beth Kelly. Shall I jump in, or are there specific questions that you all?
No, just run down kind of your background for people who may not know you. Just anything you might want to add.
I came back to Concord. I grew up in Sudbury, left for my adult life, came back to Concord 15 years ago now. I was going to take early retirement, which I did. I took a course with Victor Curran and became an historic interpreter many years ago now. The day after I decided to take early retirement, I found on Indeed a position for an historic interpreter and someone to run the business and the front end of the museum at the Old Manse for the trustees. And I began working there many years ago now, became lead historic interpreter. A few years ago, well, actually, it feels like a few years ago, but it really wasn't. Last January, a decision was made by the trustees to downsize a number of staff at some of these museums that they manage, and the Manse was one of them. So my boss, myself, and a few others were let go, unfortunately. But the fortunate news was that I walked from there down to the Wright Tavern, where my former neighbor, Tom, was kicking around the idea of talking to me about doing some operations for the Wright Tavern. And so the beginning of March, I came on doing operations for Tom. I've been there ever since. I am passionate about the mission of the Wright Tavern, particularly at this moment in time when civic discourse is just about, I think, what we could all use. So I will need to recuse myself on a number of issues, I believe, if we go forward. But I've, like many others, first of all, being in this industry, meeting the number of people who come from around the world to Concord and getting to interface with them in our historic sites is an amazing gift. I feel like our planet is very small and filled with wonderful people all the time when I'm working in these museums. Like many people who grew up around here, we were dragged here ad nauseum as children to go to Louisa May Thoreau's house and to the old man's. My father introduced me to Emerson and Thoreau when I was very young. And he was a closet transcendentalist in a very Irish Catholic family, but and then my mother was a literature lover. So I grew up just loving Concord, coming from Sudbury when it was a one cow and many horse town years ago. Concord was the place where we came to get ice cream and candy and torture kids from Lincoln. And so it was, you know, it was a great place to grow up, but did not really have an appreciation for the amazing town that it is until I came back and discovered a town that operates as a town with sidewalks and people you know when you go to buy your cheese and go to meet your neighbors in stores. So I'm happy to be back. It's been since 2014, and Concord is home to me now, and I'm very honored to be among all of you. I've met the most amazing people in Concord's history world. So thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Is there any particular area that you're more interested than others?
In the realm of history or in the realm of Concord?
Well, in the realm of the historical commission.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you know, is there any project that you have kind of always wished, boy, I wish we did this?
Oh,
You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm just
Oh.
saying.
a
And you
bucket
can, and you
list.
can think about that because that's kind of one of the, you know, we've got a lot in our charter that we're able to do, but not that we're required to do.
Mhm.
So,
I would love to see Concord continue on the big stage. You know, the 250 brought a wonderful opportunity for people to come back to understand the revolution. So Rev War history
Yeah.
is of particular interest to me right now. The hard fought ways in which ordinary people did extraordinary things to bring about
Yeah.
what happened. And we are about to celebrate on October 11th the 251st Provincial Congress. So
That's right.
yeah, Rev War history is important to me.
okay, great. Are there any other questions for Mary Beth? No? Okay. I'll go next to Rob because I know your time is short, Rob.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's great to be with you guys this
And
evening.
thank you for making the time for us.
Of course. No, I'm happy to be here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes.
I'm at Bentley University, adjacent to the swimming pool where my daughter swims five nights a week. So I will have to duck out a little bit early to get her home. But I'm Robert Monroe. My day job is as an educator. I work at Concord Academy. I live at Middlesex School where my wife works. I'm currently in the advancement office at Concord Academy and I'm in charge of overseeing operations and communications for external elements of the school. Before that, I was in academic leadership, overseeing Concord Academy's academic program. And I've been able to parlay that into doing a whole bunch of face-to-face and communication to tell the story of Concord Academy to donors and friends and things like that. My background is actually in the history of philosophy. So I have a PhD in philosophy and approach it from a historical lens, and I've taught history for a very long time. My civic kind of engagement in Concord started 15 years ago when I was on the board of the Freedom's Way National Heritage Area.
Right.
And I took that and enjoyed my time at Freedom's Way, but wanted to do something more local, and then got involved with the Robbins House, which is Concord Center for African American History, and then was president of the Robbins House for 7 years, and then left there, joined the Concord Museum as a governor, served on the town's Concord Center Cultural District Commission, if anyone remembers that from back in the day. I served on that for a bit, and then was the inaugural chair to Concord's DEI Commission. From there, I was co-chair of Concord's 250th, which just ended. And Doug was grateful to wait 3 months from when I resigned to pull me back into another commission. So I do appreciate the time away. But I will say, if it's not clear, civic responsibility engagement is a passion for me and something I take very seriously. And so to serve with this group and add my voice to historic preservation in Concord is something I'm very excited about. So glad to be here, happy to help out however I can, ready to get to work.
Other than that, have you done anything? Other than that, you haven't done a damn thing.
Not at all.
No.
Well, that's great. That's great. And I feel just so lucky to have you, Rob. I really, and so I actually called Rob because I'm trying to think of people who would be good. And yeah, it was actually Joe Palumbo who said that, there's no other men. So I'm trying to think of, other men. And Johanna, my wife, says, what about Rob? What about Rob Monroe? And I'm like, well, wouldn't he be busy? So for those who don't know, my wife was his kid's teacher. So, they know each other. They know how great he
Yes.
is, firsthand. And so you have my wife to thank.
Well, I will say Doug is my second favorite Ellis, so it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear that
Yeah.
I got that high praise from Joanna.
Again,
Nancy.
great to be in a small town. Yeah, Nancy.
In addition to an incredible background in terms of public service, we're neighbors. I live directly across the street from Osek School, and both my kids went there.
Amazing.
So really fun to know that you're over there.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure we'll run into each other at some point. I look forward to it.
Yeah, right.
And next, I'm very happy to introduce Callie, who I was thinking we really need a young person's perspective. And I can't think of a better person than you, Callie. So if you could do a quick introduction of yourself.
Well, that's very flattering. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm Callie Naris. I grew up in Concord, went to the public schools here. I graduated from college a little over a year ago now. I went to Holy Cross out in Worcester. I got a degree in political science and history while I was there. And then since graduating, I've moved back home. I'm back with my family in Concord, where I love to be. And I've just been working a couple different jobs, including starting a job as a tour guide at the visitor center, which is how I know Doug. But then I also do a couple different things. My primary job is working at the Edward Kennedy Institute out in Boston, working on their civic education programs for kids. The kids pretend they're senators. It's very cute. I pretend to be the committee members or the party reps. So it's a really fun time, but I've really enjoyed being a tour guide in Concord, kind of falling back in love with Concord history, getting to really specialize on that, being a tour guide here. And I'm really excited to be on this commission. I think it'll be a great way to kind of combine my experience with political science and history. I actually did an internship in college down on Capitol Hill for Lori Trahan, our House representative. So I have a little experience with government, very different, the town government level than the federal government, of course. But I like the town government. I love history. And so I'm excited to be here. Ever since Doug called me with this opportunity, I've been shouting it from the rooftops to everyone I've known that I'm going to be doing this. So I'm so excited to be here. So I really appreciate it.
Outstanding.
Awesome. That's
Any
awesome.
questions for Callie?
I just hope that we don't disappoint her.
Not at all. Impossible.
We need that enthusiasm, and we do need young people to care about this town, because it does seem like it's the blue hairs of us and maybe the no hairs, Rob, but we need
He's younger than all of us.
young people. And as you will learn, we are just in the midst of finalizing our historic preservation plan, and there's a ton of stuff in there that needs to be implemented, and there's nowhere near enough of us to make it happen. So,
Yeah.
it sounds like you're ready to hit the ground running, and that's great.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Carol, last but not least.
Yo, Carol.
Oh, you're muted.
You're on mute.
Oh, Kathy.
Hopefully you're there.
Okay,
Hello.
I apologize. I don't know why I'm having trouble with my video, but you can hear me, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. I don't have as exciting a background as the people who have talked before. I'm a retired chemical engineer. I have a degree in chemical engineering and a certificate in portfolio management at NYU. So why am I talking to you guys? Okay. One reason is that I do really enjoy historic preservation. I was previously, when I lived in Summit, New Jersey, I was on the Historical Preservation Commission, and that was really a fascinating experience. It doesn't have the same depth of history as Concord, but we still had a lot of interesting things and challenges that we had to put up, deal with. For example, and I see that this commission has the same sort of problem. We had a number of documents, a number of master plans, a number of surveys from the county, and guess what? They all didn't match. Okay, so we had to spend a lot of time trying to figure out what were the important structures, why were they important, which ones were still standing, and all of that. Okay, so that was very interesting. I enjoyed that. We spent a lot of time cleaning that up. We also had a historic plaque program, very similar to what we have in Concord. And we also spent time trying to communicate to the community, what are these sites? Why are they important? Giving walking directions so that people could go and learn about it. Because otherwise it just sits in a report and nobody, people don't get educated. So that was also an element that I found pretty interesting. We worked with homeowners to get homes listed on the National Register. One thing we spent a lot of time on was coming up with design and preservation guidelines. Okay. I see some head shaking. Yes. Now we were just an advisory committee. All right. But we had to, we had to work when New Jersey Transit wanted to replace a key bridge that was right in the center of town, so that it didn't destroy the way it looked. Okay. So that it fit in with the other architectural buildings. So I enjoyed those challenges. And I guess I would say the things that I'm interested in are land use, how it's changed over time, and architecture. Let me see. The other things that I've done within Concord, I do have a tour guide license. I was on the public-private partnership committee. I was a trail, what are they called? People who, pay attention to the trails. All right. And I'm also one of the coordinators at one of the community gardens. So I like to spend a lot of time outside.
Oh, which one?
Rogers.
Rogers. Okay.
Rogers. Nobody knows about Rogers. We're next to Marshall Farms.
Okay.
Along the
On the
river.
other side of the river, cousins.
You work with Mary Hartman.
Of course. Yes. Yeah, and I also was a past president of Green Thumb, so that's why you look familiar.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
So as I said, I like to be outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
impressive.
Any questions for Carol?
I just think, Doug, you've done a great job. I think just the energy level. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
I am thrilled. I mean, I couldn't be happier
Terrific
that those people
background.
said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by the diversity of talents and experiences that come with if you put this group all together
Yeah.
with our little group.
And Carol, if you feel like you know nothing, you know exactly what I knew because I came in.
Oh no, you know what? None of us knew anything.
None of us knew anything. I mean, I have a degree in chemical engineering. Of course, I know nothing about chemical engineering. And I came in with, a portfolio management, but technology, project management. But you know what? Those skills are useful here and not everybody has them. So we all come here with something different and we'll make a great, great team.
I think the most important thing, I've always said, I was chair for a long time, and this is my second go around. I was on it 20 years ago, is that you love this town and you care about it and its future.
Yeah.
And the rest you figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been very good at researching. Okay. So, like, as I said, we had all these different documents. And so I was very good at digging through all that stuff and trying to make sense out of it. So that's probably the biggest strength that I bring to the table.
That's a big hooray.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd like to add, so the next thing we're gonna do, given that we get the recommendation of the commissioners tonight to move you guys forward, and love to entertain that, but Lauren Meyer, who is our local absolute, she's the brains of the operation, anything to do with
Yeah.
any historical preservation.
Right.
Oh my God, she can run rings around
Yeah,
anyway. She just
she's world
knows this.
class.
Oh God, she knows this stuff inside and out. She is the teacher and very generous with her time and teaching us all, and very patient. And she has offered to put together kind of a primer for, I mean, for all of us, as far as I'm concerned. So later this month, I believe she said she would do that.
You might
Um,
notice
and-
that the reason she can't be here, I don't know if it's tonight, is that she is receiving, is it Nancy? It's a Lifetime Achievement Award.
I didn't know that. I
Well, she
didn't.
become a fellow of landscape architects, which is like
Oh,
getting an Oscar,
Yeah.
or a Tony
Oh my
in her
God.
field. And actually, we
In
have
New
one
Orleans.
other person in this town. We're very amazing. Louis Bersbesha, who is a former head of the HDC, his wife received the same award, and she is the head
Harvard
of the um,
Graduate School of Design.
at Harvard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah.
will be joining really, maybe not us so much, but some stellar company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't
Well,
know that about Lauren.
Oh, yeah. We have a great team. Great team.
And
Just
also,
all
can
the
I just
different
say,
perspectives. It's
Deb,
gonna,
one more shout out for Ann Clifford, who
Mhm.
is our senior planner here and is the person that we work with the most here in Concord. Hello, Ann. Ann has been here, what, 3 years? She lives in Natick and has a vast experience. And she too, like Lauren, has taught us a lot because
Yes.
the former person in her position knew a lot about kind of operations and structure and knows that, but also the history, preservation, the laws, and is
Yeah.
a brilliant writer.
And she's passionate about it, just like us. So
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Great team.
I'm actually from the museum field, and I'm an art and
Oh.
architectural historian, so I'm not a preservationist.
Well,
But
No.
I was the
Good enough.
curator of a H.H. Richardson designed house and a Olmsted designed landscape for about 20 years, and in that role, I did a lot of preservation work just on that
Yeah.
building, right, and the landscape of
Yeah.
too, of course, yeah.
Very
And I'm a
impressive.
restaurant owner, so I also understand what it's like to be a business owner and working with towns.
Yeah, that's great.
So we need a motion. Anybody like to make a motion?
Well, can I just clarify? My motion will be to nominate these 4 individuals to become members, associate members of the, is that what I'm making a motion about?
Yeah. Can we know that Sarah Cusin would like to be. Can we include her in the motion?
I'm
We
happy
should
to.
sort
I know
out-
Sarah.
We should sort out members and associate members though.
Yes.
Well, I think isn't everyone only being nominated because you, Nancy, would be elevated to a full membership.
Would I?
She already is.
Nope, I'm an
No?
associate member.
No?
Yeah.
Oh,
Now you see the sausage.
yeah, you really do.
The rules, we kind of, it's more fun to deal with the problems, not the rules.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought the last one you were, but okay. Yeah, the
Right.
way it works is we've got a spot for 5 full commissioners and 5 associate commissioners. And if we don't have 5 present, then we fill in with the associates, we get to vote. I don't know how we choose who gets to vote, but that makes up the quorum.
So,
So how many full members are there right now? 4 or 5 or 3? how many? Lauren, Doug, Nancy,
4.
and Melissa.
I'm full.
Right.
You're,
And,
Yeah, myself, Nancy, Lauren, and Melissa.
so
and
I think,
Michael Capizzi is still on until the position is filled because his term
What'd you say?
expired.
I'm-
Michael Capizzi's term expired, but he, according to the town rules, stays on until the position is filled. So
We should fill that.
yes, so you need to fill a full position, just one.
Mhm.
So I would like to recommend Mary Beth be the full commissioner since she was in the pipeline first. And I think just judging by the term expirations, it will not be very long until there will be more.
yeah. So do you want me to second that?
That would be good.
I'll say I second Mary Beth be named a full commissioner. Boy, we moved right up the head of the class.
And are the other folks agreeable to that, to be associates? I think you should make sure. I think it'd be great because there's a lot of mobility on this.
Yeah,
That sounds
I
good.
believe we've discussed it, but
Okay, okay.
and basically what it means to be an associate is you get to weigh in on everything. You just don't
Yeah.
have an official vote unless a commissioner isn't there. I mean, and you make up a quorum.
But you
But,
definitely have
You,
the
you get
voice.
you get plenty, your influence is felt regardless.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
There really isn't a lot of distinction between, trust me.
No.
I agree. Okay. Are
Okay,
we-
so all in favor? Melissa,
I'm Melissa.
Nancy, and Doug, I. So, okay, unanimous. So, and we have a recommendation for a full commissioner. And I guess if I could make a motion, I'd like to make a motion that Kelly Naris, Robert Monroe, Carol Aronson, and Sarah Cusin be recommended for associate commissioners.
Oh,
Is there a
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion? No discussion. Um, all in favor? Melissa,
I
Nancy,
Aye.
and Doug. Aye. So, okay, unanimous on that. Okay, there we have it.
I think this is really profound, actually. I'm very excited about this. This is gonna be fun.
It is.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
Thank all of you for being interested in this. I think it's so important, particularly now, to have these perspectives that are so different and so focused on one thing. So that's great.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
thank you.
All right. Okay. Next on the agenda. I've got all my old agendas up. We have, is it the CPC we have next? Yeah.
Application.
Yes. Sorry, yes, that's right. The Planning Division and Historical Commission application to the CPC for that Concord Reformatory and West Concord thematic preservation study.
Yep.
So I did submit the application on time. It's going to
Yes,
be
you
reviewed
did.
by the CPC. They have site visits this weekend, but they're not doing a site visit to the MCI Concord site. But on next Tuesday, I've got to do a presentation. So if anyone would like to come to support the presentation, that would be great. And Nancy, of course, is the liaison to the CPC. She actually sits on the CPC as well as the Historical Commission. So hopefully, Nancy, we've got your support on this.
Well, I'm not even sure I can vote on that one, but I'll clarify that.
Yeah.
It's the CPC is very interesting. There's a reserve seat for the Historical Commission, for the recreation folks, for planning, Anybody else, Anne? I think
Natural resources.
natural resources, yeah. So
Mhm.
those
And
are,
housing too, of course.
oh yeah.
Housing.
Oh, yeah, Ed Lerner. Yeah, yeah. So there are some seats reserved for committees and commissions in other parts of the government. So it's a very interesting committee, and you learn a lot about other parts of the town.
What time is it on Tuesday?
7 o'clock.
So,
Is it in,
Although the presentation for this one is going to be last because I need to be there anyway. I'm the liaison to that committee also. Um, so it's going to be last. It could be late.
will this be Zoom or in person?
Zoom.
Yep.
Yep. I could circulate the agenda
Yeah.
if you'd like. Yeah.
So,
I'm not scheduled for anything, so I could be there.
Oh, great. That would be really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
are you, as part of this discussion tonight, Doug and Ann, trying to think of entities we would like to get letters who would support this? Is that part of our charge for tonight?
Right. I think the critical one is the MCI Concord Advisory Board.
Advisory committee?
And I did draft a letter, and I think it would make sense for it to come from the commission rather than from planning or from staff.
Yep.
And you all know, is it Dan Gainsborough and Patrick? Right, you know them well, so that would be great.
I do. I know John Boynton very well. I mean, I'm happy to reach out to John too, just to,
Oh, good,
Me
great.
too.
Yes.
yeah.
And they, of course, encourage the commission to apply,
Yep.
right?
And Linda Miller, well, Nancy, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think Lauren has been following MCI developments, hasn't she? And so she's been a good stake in the ground over there.
Yeah. Yeah, she's been very much boots on the ground with them.
Yeah.
What about, I mean, would it help to have, say, the library, Anka, special collections? I mean,
Why not?
Sure.
doesn't have to be a long letter, just need,
Mhm.
okay.
So, should I reach out to them or, I mean,
I'm
or
well,
just?
I'm happy to reach out to Anka and Sherry.
Oh, great, okay.
Yeah.
That should do it, I would think.
Okay.
Okay.
And also, so I guess moving on, unless there are questions about the application. The CPC also received other historic preservation applications. Let me see. There were, got it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8.
A lot.
Right.
A
So
lot.
7 in addition to the one we submitted. And some of them are really straightforward. There were 2 for storm windows, 1 for the library, 1 for the museum. Oh, and actually this, I lied. One of these isn't historic preservation. And then the Concord Scout House is doing an exterior preservation project. And then there are 2 archival projects, one from the town archives and one from Anka. And I think in the past, when we get town council opinions, and town council had required a letter of support from the commission for the 2 archival projects. Most of these other projects, it's clear that the entity is historic, but for archives, there needs to be some sort of formal statement saying that these archives are in fact historic. Some of them are thorough surveys, so obviously there's no question. Yeah. And then the last one is, of course, the Wright Tavern, and they submitted for an energy project. And of course, the commission has a preservation restriction on the Wright Tavern, so you all will be actually reviewing that project. I haven't heard anything about a request for a letter of support.
I haven't delved into that yet,
Mhm.
but that could be very, very significant in terms of a historic preservation perspective. And it's been a long and sometimes arduous conversation with the Right Tavern people, but everybody's maintaining good cooperative approach, I think. So,
Mhm.
but I don't know. And how far along do you think they are in their planning?
I actually haven't had a chance to read through it.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I don't know. Yeah.
okay.
He did, Tom did a presentation the other night and it was very general. So there were no drawings shown or anything, if that's what you're asking. So
And no drawings really have been submitted with the CPC application. I have this
I
big
have-
pile sort of organized, but not read.
right, so do I.
Not this big.
17, there are 17 applications this year, so
Yeah.
I haven't dealt
But
with
no real drawings or anything.
it. Not at the presentation.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting then. The devil's in the details.
Mhm.
Well,
What
so
about staff and technical services?
Oh,
That seems a little near and dear.
That's Anne.
that's me, yeah.
I know it is, but I mean, is that something that we need to show support for? Yeah, we really do need to get you help.
No, that's okay. Well, it's I guess the town is working on that. And we're working things out within the division.
Okay, let me know.
But thank you.
Great.
I mean, that's in the historical preservation plan. That is one of the actions.
Yeah.
So people may raise questions if we don't reach out with verbal support. I just want to make sure we have our bases covered, that there's no doubt that we support that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, so I do have I don't get under, I'm not clear about what we're doing here because I forwarded to you, Doug and Anne, the
Yeah.
request from the library about their windows to protect their historic windows. Are we going to write a letter in the support or what? I don't, this is not clear to me what we're doing here.
I think we
Oh.
should, and that is what I think we're in agreement, Melissa. I wanted to go through here and come into an agreement on what we want to write letters of support for.
Okay, so
Well, given what Anne and I just said, maybe it's premature.
Right, typically you get asked, and it sounds as if the library has asked.
well, I
Yeah, they
know
did.
that
They
they
did.
have asked because I forwarded.
Library asked, let's do the library.
There's some competing projects there. There's a couple of storm window replacements and I would like to get a better sense in my own mind as a member of CPC of what I would think the priorities would be.
But tonight you're a member of the Historical Commission.
Well, I know, but I don't know what I need to know in order
I
to.
guess I thought it would be a part of tonight's agenda. That's my misunderstanding because that's what
Or
I.
mine. Could be mine too.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh. Innocent. I'm innocent this
You're
time.
innocent. Maybe.
Maybe.
Um, Well, my understanding, and correct me, any letter that we would write on behalf of any of these applications needs to be in by November 19th, correct?
I was just
It's
going to
the-
ask about
The
that.
15th.
15th,
November 15th.
November 15th.
Yeah.
So we have our next meeting is when exactly?
Let's see.
Not on my calendar yet.
It is November 6th.
Oh,
That's early. Okay.
oh, that's good. Can we have sort of rank order opinion by the next meeting?
Well, I just want to know how are we going to evaluate what of these projects we, the Historical Commission, would support?
I think people should have in their own mind a rank ordering of the preservation projects. many of them are small-ish.
And
But
with-
I did add up what our minimum allocation of funds would be for historic preservation, but I don't have it at my fingertips.
Well, so can I ask that for the next meeting? I don't know if that will give you enough time that we, as part of the agenda and our materials, you've talked about the libraries, the Wright Tavern, the museum. I'm sorry, I didn't write them down. The other,
There's 2 windows.
yeah,
I just had these up.
in the archives.
the archives, Nate's
The
from
archives.
Yeah,
And
and
for the 2
Scout
archival
House.
ones, the letter that is going to need to be submitted would just simply say that the the materials are historic.
Okay, that's the one from the town archives.
Yes, and the library.
Well, the library is asking about its windows.
They're also asking for.
Okay, Anka, so there's Ankas and then
Right,
the corporations. Okay,
right. Mhm.
so the Concord Museum did not check the box, but I assume that's historic preservation. Right? They didn't check the box, so
Yes.
Scout House, Town Records, Wright Tower, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay. So have priorities by next meeting? Is that where we are?
What I'm hearing. And
Um, Typically, again, you provide letters of support when you're asked. So.
Okay.
we haven't, so in other words,
necessarily
we've all,
need to rank them. I don't know if it's your.
Oh, okay.
if
well,
it's
I'm
your
gonna have an
responsibility to
idea.
rank them.
we have not been asked by anyone, right, but the library.
Correct.
And then the library, was it Anka as well, or just the window project?
Just the window project so far.
Okay,
yeah, I would definitely support digitization.
but they haven't submitted a request, that's the
Yeah.
point.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good point.
So what do we do, Ann? Wait till they all ask and then last minute we write our support? Is it
It's up to
premature
you.
to
I
write
mean,
support?
I think probably start drafting one just to have it ready if
Okay,
depending on what the commission decides at the next meeting when there
Okay.
are people.
all right, we can do that.
I don't expect that any of these are going to be frivolous, so we would probably support all of them to some
I would
degree.
think so, yeah.
I would think so. Yeah.
Can
Mhm.
I ask a new person question?
Of course.
What are the criteria or rubrics by which we would write a letter or not? Or is there a standard that we would look at, or is it's ad hoc, depending on the place and the project and things like that?
I would always look at the urgency and the risk if the project does not go forward.
Mhm.
So beyond that, I always look for other funding that might supplement CPC funds.
Yeah, I mean, usually they have a match of some sort. Also, it's
That's-
merit of the project.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Yep.
the power of their narrative.
And yeah, sort of the professional input.
Mhm.
Because historic preservation can be pretty picky.
And one thing that came up too is whether the commission will have a regulatory role on the project in the future.
Oh, like the preservation.
Right,
restriction.
right
Right,
tavern
like the Wright
example.
Tavern. And
Yeah.
it also came up with the Thoreau Trail proposal, which is a open space and recreation proposal.
Yeah.
And it involves federal land. So in the future, the commission would have a role in reviewing the
Yes.
project,
Good.
which it would be difficult to appear unbiased if you submit a letter of support
Yep.
for a project that you're going to be reviewing in the future.
Reviewing.
Does that make sense?
That
Yep.
does. That's helpful. Thank you. And Nancy, you had mentioned something about trying to, if you would consider if the entity had other funding outside the CPC, is that because you wear the hat of the CPC as well? Or is there a connection that we as commission members here have to be cognizant of with CPC funds?
I think that's mostly my personal opinion,
That's something.
but I would, yeah, I don't know.
That's fine. Just
Never never thought of it. Seemed reasonable, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interesting thing for me is going to be, given my past affiliation with the national park,
mhm.
whether or not I need to recuse myself. I think officially, maybe not, but sometimes still it feels a little bit awkward for me. And I always err on the side of not trying to tip the balance in the wrong way. But not important tonight, probably.
Okay.
So,
Do we need anything else on this topic? Ann?
No, I don't think so.
I don't
Okay.
think so. I would like to put it, I would like to put in a plug for my replacement in the not too distant future. Being on the Historical Commission representative to CPC is an extremely interesting side job for a person on the Historical Commission. Seriously, Rob, seriously. You learn a lot and you have an opportunity to influence decisions. So it's a good thing. But I've been doing it for a long time.
So Nancy, are you giving us, I mean, are you staying on for another year?
I'm staying on until there's somebody else that would like to do it, or until I can't do it anymore. But not right away. Not right away. Not right away. Just looking at the future.
Okay, that's good information. So there's an opportunity.
Yeah, it's really fun, actually. It really is.
Yeah.
And the slug of work comes
Now.
coming up pretty soon when you're really digging. We have I haven't seen yet the assignments. There's 17 projects or something like that, and each member of the CPC takes a lead in really delving deeply into the project and formulating questions and presenting to the rest of the group. So that work, that's the big slug of work when you're dealing with all those and making recommendations for a town meeting.
Okay. All right, are we ready to move to other business?
Sure.
MCI Concord Vision Plan. So Ann is so really, I think the topic here is they've published their plan. Beautiful document. I hope everybody has read it. I finally got through all 48 pages of it today.
Oh gosh, congratulations.
Well, I mean, a lot of it's it's not dense like the historic preservation plan. It's very, very well written. A lot of graphics and organization to kind of help you digest it. But you get through the whole thing, and it basically, you know, they lay out a few different scenarios that you could go with the property. One is really just make it kind of first, my reaction from a historical preservation standpoint. I wish Lauren was here because she could weigh in so beautifully on all of this. But I mean, I mean, from my layman's perspective, it sounds like they're really showing great respect for the historic property. Anyway, at least the superintendent's house.
Yeah.
And so that's great. They're really also looking for great opportunities to tell stories that haven't been told before. I think that's great. And to use the Cummings house. So I think all those ideas are fantastic if they can start incorporating some of those things. There was one which was basically, really just all public use, parks and playgrounds and, fields and pastures and not much else. Then there was another opposite end of the spectrum, which is just all commercial and high density development. And then there was kind of a middle ground. This is me oversimplifying, but that's
No.
kind of what it was.
Well-
And when they got the feedback from the citizens, the middle ground was not surprisingly where most people landed. So that sounds like what the direction that they'll be going in, which
And
yeah,
Well,
with a
they,
big emphasis on housing, I hope, in the middle choice.
it's in there. I mean, it's part of it. It's not and they have for forecasted number of units.
Yeah.
What the load at like 120 new students, 127 I think was the number of new students in the schools. And given that our schools are right now 200 students below capacity for the entire district, that's getting us right to the limit. But it's not pushing us way over a limit either.
they have a lot of charts and graphs. I think for those, I don't know if any of you were, I was telling Nancy earlier, John Boynton presented it on behalf when there was a panel at the League of Women Voters last Friday where they presented this and they explained that they, from one end, just as Doug has said, that's very commercial, to the other, which would be all housing. And there, I think, I agree with Doug. I think the sense from them is they would recommend something in between, but they will present this to the select board, who has to make some sort of decision. I think the thing that I took away, though, is there are a lot of big challenges before anything happens. One, what is the state going to do about the Rotary?
Yeah.
Two, what is going to come of the wastewater treatment plant, which has been estimated at $25 million?
Yeah.
How are we going to address that issue? What I hadn't understood, but he made pretty clear, Concord will never own this site. The idea would be that it would be made available to one or more developers from DCAM. DCAM has worked very closely and they continue, it sounds like, to have a very close relationship and a trusting relationship with what the state through DCAM, how well they have worked with them.
Yeah.
That eventually, whatever scenario that the select board may adopt from the spectrum that they presented, it would be to offer that for some developer to then submit some RFPs. Maybe it's one, maybe it's multiple developers.
This is a recommendation anyway, right?
Yeah, this is not a plan.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's well
Yeah,
worth,
yeah.
I agree with Doug, well worth reading through. It is really well done. You learn a lot. I do think they really mean it. They want to take their time and do
Yeah.
this right. So I think the other thing is there's a lot of opportunity for the public to continue to make your voice heard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Good.
But yes, I do think preservation, even though we were not allowed to be a member or even on a subcommittee, which was our request, I think they really are listening to it. I think they know that there would be a terrible PR move if they didn't.
Yeah, exactly. And they might find some interesting and valuable insights in the process. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of stories to tell, and they've acknowledged that. So it would be a missed opportunity if they didn't.
Oh, I'll say,
Yeah.
the stories of that place.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any action that we would want to take. Is there any support or any? I think Lauren had commented that she thought that we should.
Right, that's why I put it on the agenda, because Lauren had suggested that the
I-
commission.
I don't understand though how, because they're not, it's still a document that's being sent. We're not adopting anything. There's no,
And there's no specific recommendation. They're just saying this is how kind of the general population feels about these different options. They're not saying we're going to do this.
Right.
So it's not a plan per se.
Well, I noticed on the page about cultural and historic storytelling that there was a pretty big error. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Okay, okay,
you mind if I
okay, all
bring
right.
it up?
Yeah,
So I think if there are things that need to be corrected,
Well,
you know, maybe this is the time to do it.
sure. Okay,
Here, right, can you see the screen?
yeah.
yes.
All right, just glancing at it, I haven't actually looked at the macros forms, but isn't this the Cummings house?
Yep.
Right, so it's labeled Concord Reformatory
Oh,
Superintendent's
way
House.
wrong. Oh, wrong.
Right, and
Oh, geez, I
so
didn't even look at
they call
that.
it, so this is, they call this the Superintendent's House, number 8, and they also call the
Yeah, number 2.
number 2, the Warden's House. Number 2
Absolutely.
is both the Warden's House and the Superintendent's House, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
So that is a glaring thank you. That is glaringly incorrect.
Right, so
Also,
I think we should look through for errors.
And just a little side bit of trivia. So the road on the right-hand side back 120 years ago was Elm Place.
No.
And they were Victorians, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
And going back through some of my like the Masonic histories, when Charles Hart was superintendent, like in the early 1900s, he would have these lavish parties there. But it was on Elm Place. It didn't sound like it was at like the mansion, so to speak.
Funny. Oh, that's funny.
But anyway, they commemorated. It was called there was one night, this January 31st, 1898, when they had a lodge meeting and they got snowed in. So they all spent the night, and they and for years afterwards they would commemorate that night, and they would all get together and they'd have this big dinner, and they'd finish up at midnight.
Oh, that's funny.
So,
It was
Anne,
possible. Anyway,
and can I just also thank you for pointing that out. The other thing about the Cummings house, it's not a part of this project. It should not be included, other than to say that to acknowledge it and its importance, but it's still owned by Northeast Correctional.
That's my understanding too, but they did talk about it in this. And of course, all of this land was associated with the Cummings house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was
Mr.
the
Freeman
Cummings
was
land,
the
yeah.
slave person who worked for Cummings. So, right, so both the MCI Concord site and the farm site were all associated with the Cummings house.
Mhm.
it'd be kind of nice if it was part of it and maybe moved across the street so people can actually see it.
Well, maybe if they figure out what to do with the Rotary, the
Yeah.
state might consider that.
The interesting thing is what happens at the Rotary would probably be influenced by what ultimately happens at MCI. I hope people are talking to each other. Probably they are. Because
Well, when John Boyden presented this a few months back, he said that was kind of the weak link.
Yeah, and he reiterated that on Friday.
Okay.
the coordination between the future of the circle.
Well, they still don't-
Transportation is kind of on their own in their own world.
Oh, I see.
You know that, Nancy, from your work.
Yes, I do know that. I do know that.
Friends,
So
I
is
have
there
to,
an action that needs to be taken right now? I mean, we can point out the mistake, but I mean, I don't think that needs to be a formal letter.
Juicy Rob.
sorry, I have to jump off to get the kid out of the pool and get her home.
Thank you,
unfortunately.
Rob.
But in the future, I'll be able to stay for the full meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
Bye.
We're
Looking
close to
forward
the
to
end. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, Rob. Okay.
And I think Lauren had also said, well, we know that the staff member that had been the liaison to Mass Historical Commission is no longer with the town of Concord. So that was another kind of big issue with this project that Lauren thought that maybe the historical commission could address.
Okay.
So
Okay.
just mentioning it.
So would you like me to reach out to one of them and just inquire?
Sure.
Okay. All right, I can do that. Not a big deal. Okay, meeting minutes.
I had no corrections.
I did not either. Site visit, such voluminous notes. We visited.
It was a good visit.
It was a good visit.
Great minutes.
Great minutes. Yeah. And then the evening we went through and the notes look very familiar. 1606. Oh God, Main Street. Drives me nuts.
Is there, is that, I don't want to end up bringing new business, but is there any action on that yet? Anything?
Nothing I've heard.
Okay.
It absolutely killed me with a neighbor across the street, and talking with her. That so Callie, just I mean, being a guide. So I gave the Masonic tour a couple of times. The first time I did it, I went through and we finished the tour at the Masonic Lodge and showing some beautiful woodworks. We've got a beautiful frame that was done in 1897. That was for the first 100 years of. It's like all the little vignettes of each of the past masters that for the first 100 years. So photographs or silhouettes or something. So it's got something of all of them. Beautiful wood carving. And then if you go into the lodge room, we have a ballot box that's just beautiful wood carving. And I could never really, I mean, it looks like it's machine made, but I never, one day I pulled out the drawer and I looked inside, and the back of it, it says December 12th, 1896, William Chaplin. And this woman says, "Oh my God, he built my house
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
in 1870."
Huh.
And it's 1603 right across the street from this particular house. But anyway, so that's just one of these great, historical connections that, I mean, that's what gets me excited when it becomes real. It just connects to your own personal life. But and here's this guy who she never knew, and all of a sudden, here it is. Here, and she did
That's
have a
so
lot of
funny.
information about him, but it was great. It's just kind of
That's
see
really
another
fun.
dimension. But the whole point, though, is that the house across the street is a modest house built in the 1950s or 1950 exactly. It's about 2,000 square feet, and they're proposing to demolish it and replace it with a 7,500 square foot multifamily on the same lot. And it's just going to change the character of the neighborhood. So, we're a little bit upset. And she's like, "Oh, they're nice people. That's fine." So it's like,
Change.
Yeah. I mean, talk about writing a letter, and this is totally out of order, Doug, but I'm
Yeah.
just going to say it. I feel the town of Concord has not paid attention to West Concord. They're not looking at the big picture of what's happening in West Concord, which is one of my big worries about the MCI land. There are so many major
Yeah.
developments going on right now that will, Doug, they did put a number in for potential number of students, but what about the project at the Thoreau Club and the Novo project right here near Concord Green? How many students are they proposing for that?
They were listed. They were listed in that.
They were, I
MCI.
didn't remember that, but,
Yeah, it's in there.
and then the traffic, which they deflect that as a problem.
Yeah.
So when we talk about historic preservation, I feel that West Concord is really under assault.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And Carol and Kelly, these are the now you start seeing kind of the other side. So one thing is like there's this beautiful building, and then it's all cut and dry that, it's this great thing, we want to preserve it. But then there's the other kind of softer neighborhood look and feel, kind of the character that it has, that you start tearing down all these modest homes and replacing them with these much larger properties, things that the feel changes. So just kind of some of the things that we deal with.
Very important to document those resources that are being taken down too.
Yeah.
I think that in some ways, given our economic system in this country, you don't get to, historical commissions don't get to choose what owners do with their property.
No.
But they could encourage documentation at the very least.
Yes.
Which we've been doing for a while, right, Melissa?
Yeah,
For documentation.
well, we do, it's on file at the library, but it remains kind of hidden unless someone
Yeah, brings it up.
brings it up, does a story. Actually, that's one of the things, we're looking into photos that can go along with our preservation plan. There are some stuff that the library has about Lost Concord, some of the buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say Lost Boston is.
And we hope to have some of those to propose for incorporation into the plan, but it's not a complete
No, yeah,
at all.
that's a project for the future.
Yeah, and the other project for the future that we've been that we've been giving lip service to, because it's way early and it would require a lot of work, would be to put together a book of all the neighborhoods and kind of how they've evolved.
Yep. Yeah.
So I mean, we've got architecture books. So you've got these houses, and here it was 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Here it is now. You've got all of that, but those are all reflecting on things that exist today. But to really do kind of a whole time span of how a neighborhood has changed, and then it doesn't have to just be Concord Center. I mean, then you can introduce Canantum and Derby Street and around the prison, and just really tell a whole story. So Mary Beth, I see you getting excited. So yeah,
that could be really
and that
fun.
gives you the opportunity to tell all the immigrant stories and a lot of things that because right now only the cream of the crop of the properties that have survived till today. Everything else has been torn down and replaced by newer, greater, better.
Yeah.
But there's stories there,
Including post-World War II ranches.
including post-World War II ranches.
And
Yeah.
where I grew up. Anyway,
Anyway, do we
You
make
want a motion?
Do we make a motion to accept the meeting minutes?
I'll move that we accept the minutes of both the meeting of August 7, 2025 and the site visit August 7, 2025.
Second,
All in favor? Melissa?
Aye.
Nancy?
Aye.
And I also concur. Okay.
very good.
Anything else, Ann?
How about a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I believe I was told years ago we don't have to do that.
Oh, Doug can just do it. You have the power.
You've got big
That's
powers now, Doug.
That's right. That's right.
Ooh.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we are on the bottom of the agenda, so I declare meeting adjourned.
Thank you
very
everybody.
much.
Thank you.